In this video I will show how to solder a car bumper. The bumper on my car has cracked. It's in the lower part. The paint has barely come off on the outside, so it's possible to try soldering it. We will need a soldering iron, preferably a powerful one. Mine is 100 watts with a wide tip and also a fine mesh from a filter. I will cut it with metal scissors. First, you need to remove the front bumper from the car. Gently pry the stud with a flat screwdriver and unscrew it with a Phillips one. It's more convenient this way. They look like this. They open up like a little rose. Now that the studs have been removed, you can slowly remove the bumper, disconnecting the headlight terminal. Disconnect the side marker terminal. And the headlight terminal. After removing the front bumper, it became clear that it had already been glued and was previously damaged. It was glued using a thermoelectrode, but we will fix it with regular reinforcing mesh. Here you can see the seam that has come apart. It is necessary to remove the excess part of this seam and weld it using regular mesh. Using metal shears, I will remove the excess part of the plastic that was split open. As you can see, the plastic is good, but it has poor adhesion and cracks with every impact. First, it is necessary to remove the excess plastic buildup. For this, I will use a small hole saw and a screwdriver. After that, we clean off the dust that formed during the sanding. After that, we will remove the dirt from the welded seams. Now we need to prepare a mesh for welding the seams. We cut out this mesh cut along the seam. And we end up with a piece of mesh for welding the bumper seams. Now we cut off a piece of mesh and weld it to the bumper seam. I've long dreamed of buying a soldering station, and finally I had to, because soldering. A bumper with a regular soldering iron is very inconvenient. It burns through the plastic and the mesh doesn't go into the plastic well. Overall, it's just a struggle. For soldering with a heat gun, I'll use this piece of plastic from a canister. Of course, you can buy ready-made rods, but I haven't found them yet, so I'm trying to weld with this plastic. The main thing is that it should be compatible with the bumper material. Using white spirit will degrease the surface that we're going to weld. You can also degrease the surface of the plastic piece. Turn on the heat gun on the soldering station and set the temperature to 300 degrees. That's the standard temperature for melting plastic. Heat up the bumper and the strip of plastic that will be attached until they start to melt. Once they've melted, start carefully pressing the plastic down. Don't rush. Make sure to heat it thoroughly so that there are no, just like this. There should be no underwelding at all. Here the strip has been glued. I'll heat it up again for control. This is the kind of welded seam we got. Welding with plastic, of course, is more interesting and convenient than embedding mesh, and there's less chance of burning through the plastic. You can see there are almost no traces left. Using metal scissors, we cut out the next strip of plastic about a centimeter wide. Now, using the same plastic, we'll patch up this hole that appeared in a visible spot. We place some kind of non-flammable base underneath. I put a piece of porcelain tile underneath and we'll start heating it up. You can apply it in one piece or in strips. I think I'll cut out one piece and place it here so there are fewer seams. The sheet just bends when it's heated, so it's very convenient. These are the weld seams we ended up with. Everything is almost monolithic. Previously, the last workers used aluminum tape here, but that turned out to be a less reliable fix. I think plastic to plastic will be more reliable and stronger. Of course, it didn't turn out perfectly. Ideally, it should be filled, sanded and painted, but I won't do that for now because I plan to buy a new one in the future. Now we can proceed to install it on the car. We install the bumper on the car in the reverse order. Now the bumper is welded and we can keep driving.